Good morning, everyone. Can you hear us well?
Hello, good
Yes,
morning.
hello, Clara.
Hello.
Good afternoon here.
Okay. So everyone is here from FlexiLabs, or are we waiting for someone?
Uh, yeah, we are waiting, I think maybe 5 minutes, okay?
Okay, sure, no
Okay.
problem.
Can we then
And
start?
we have just to let you know we want to record this training in
Yes,
case we will
sure.
need to use it in the future, so we can share it. I will also ask my colleague to cut some parts, like the beginning and like where your faces are, for example, just to keep there the training part, let's say.
Okay.
Okay, so let's wait about 5 minutes.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. My name is Klara Hubachova, and I would like to welcome you at our today's introduction to Gemini and its application part. The presentation and the all the talking will be performed by my colleague Marta Seifertova. She's the application specialist for MBA Reader and Gemini Instrument. So she will be happy to show you all the benefits of the instrument. And in case you will have any questions, please feel free to ask her. I suggest that we can start now, and if anyone is missing, they can connect in the meantime. So Marta, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. So welcome on our training for Gemini instrument. I switch on camera and I show you the instrument, and we will discuss one by one the specific parts of this instrument. So Clara, is it okay?
I can see it, but just in a small detail. Maybe it's the way of.
Mm-hmm. I try here to.
Yeah, that's for me. It works now
Yeah,
well.
it's better. Yeah.
Yes, I can see
Okay.
almost full screen. Sofian,
Perfect.
could you please confirm that
Yes, it's
you
good.
see it? Yeah,
Yes,
that's great. Thank you
yes,
very
it's for
much.
for everyone. Yeah.
Great. Thank
Perfect.
you.
Thank you very much. So here you can see the whole instrument. Here on this part, uh, when I go deeply and when we look on the working space, here you can see the place for the tips. Here is the small tips for pipetting of samples. Here in this part, you can see the rag which is holding the longer tips. These tips are used for aspiration of reagent. So for bigger tips, we have only one position because you don't need so many tips, because the instrument is so clever that when aspirate, for example, reagent as conjugate and substrate, aspirate all volume for one strip and pipetting Y band 1 and fill with the reagent wall strip. For the smaller tips, we have here both or two places, because for pipetting of samples you need two tips for one sample, and is it one sample for aspiration of sample and putting in this deep wells for dilution of the sample, and the second tip is used that the instrument aspirate the diluted sample and put there in the well which is inserted in frame in actually in the plate. So as I mentioned already, here you can see these small deep wells, we can say. These deep wells are necessary for dilution, so the instrument pipette dilution or solution for dilution, diluent we can say, and add the sample and mixed, and from these deep wells further the diluted sample is aspirated to the plate. This is a good advantage with which we can offer Normally, other brands, other competitors offer one complete block. So when you use, for example, a half, due to some contamination, it's good to throw out the whole block. But here in this case, we use only strips, like deep well in strips. So if you have, for example, 9 sample, you only use these 2 strips, and you don't have to use the whole block. So it's good to have it in strip, not in the whole block. Also for these wells are here 2 positions. When I will continue, here is the place for inserting of the plate when the instrument is actually in the waiting positions or is waiting for adding of some samples. It's like the sleeping mode. The frame, which is here, is in the instrument. Here is the belt, which is moving with the plate, and insert here the plate into incubators. This instrument has 3 incubators for laboratory temperature. There is no incubation, and in this upper part are 2 incubators which can be heated, and these 2 incubation plates are for incubation, especially for ELISA, because there you need 37 degrees. So these 2 positions are for when you need to heat the plate. Normally, if we can discuss MBA, which is our main new product, you can run here 2 plates in one moment. When I will continue here, I only okay. Maybe I go a little bit deeper here. You can see the pipetter, and this pipetter use the tips for aspiration of samples. That is a good feature because we avoid some cross contamination. So for MBA, it's good to have tips and not use the pipetter, which is washing during the process. So tips are taken by the pipetter and works. Here in this place, you can see here the positions for the racks. So here you insert the racks with samples and also with regions. Here in that part, you can see the barcode scanner for scanning of the barcodes, which are on the tubes. So here, during the procedure, ELISA or MBA, doesn't matter, it's necessary to washing the plate. So here, in that part, here, you can see the washer. Washer has standardly 8 needles, and it's possible to wash the plate. And here is the waste. The tips are going here to the waste deck. But it's also really necessary to mention that when we look on the left side of the instrument, you can see here the bottles. This first bottle is especially for distillated water, which is necessary for flushing of the instrument. Here and here, these two bottles are here for cleaning solution for washer. So we recommend to have one bottle for MBA, universal solution, and who run ELISA also to use the second bottle for washing solution. Also, you need the system liquid and it is distilled water for flushing the whole instrument and all lines. And logically, the second canister is for waste after flushing of instrument. So I can show you the racks which we use. So this rack is used for reagent. You can see that also we provide these specific adapters for our region. So this is our regions, for example, here substrate, conjugate, and here is the universal solution. So you don't have to change the bottle throughout the region and put in another bottle. You can use our original bottles because we use these adapters and we provide adapters with Gemini. These adapters are original and these are our production.
Marta, if you are saying something, we cannot hear you. Marta? Marta, we cannot hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, there's no any sound.
Yeah. I will check her. I will write her into the
Yes.
chat.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if she sees the message. I will stop to her office and I will ask her or tell her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a minute, please.
Okay.
Máš sluchátko nově? No já to nemám ten. To, že potřebuješ máš sluchátko náhradní?
Já nemám na USB, to mám na ten huděka. A ne, na to byla.
Now, excuse me, do you hear me?
Yes, we just hear you.
Okay. So sorry, maybe
Okay.
something happened.
Yes.
Okay, so I have you seen the Rex or yes,
Yes, we see the rec, but your explanation about the rec, we just get
yeah. So what was my
hear
last?
you say adapter.
Okay, so quickly I repeat it again. So the first biggest track is for region. The second metallic is for control, cutoff, and calibrators, and the last track is for the last track. This here. It's for patient samples. So if you have their barcode, it's automatically scanned, and Gemini can recognize the code. Also, here in this rack, you can insert the Eppendorf tube. So if you have a small amount of sample, it's okay. You can use it. You can transfer the small amount of sample to Eppendorf tube, and Eppendorf tube is possible to insert here in this rack. So it's also possible to use. So this is a rack which we can offer. Here the last thing which you need for analysis, it's here I have MBA plate. So this frame, and in the frame you can insert the specific MBA. Well, here it's good to mention, for example, when you don't run the wall strip, you have to fill this blank um, wells, because we have 8 needle washer. So when the washer is going down in these positions, there wouldn't be any container when the liquid go in. So this blank wells must be added there due to the washer needle. So, and this MBA are breakable. I think you know it, you use it. So you insert to the frame and take the frame and insert to the instrument. So we described these necessary accessories which you need for run on Gemini. So I will take a reg with samples and insert to the instrument, and we can look on the software how is it look and where you should click to finish the run. So for 1 second, and yes,
I
any
want to
question,
ask
please?
about, yes, I want to ask about the sample patient barcode. Is Gemini produce the barcode or the hospitals?
No, hospitals. Yeah, hospitals. Because the Gemini
The,
can read the barcode, but there is no printer for barcodes. It must be printed in hospital or by
okay, so
the
if
LIS system or something like that.
okay, so the Gemini should be connected to the LIS on the hospital.
Yes.
Okay,
And
or
based
can it
on,
put manually?
sorry?
Can we put the patient's number manually?
Yes, of course. It's also possible. If you don't have barcodes, it's no problem. You can, I can show in the software. You can also add the sample manually. It's very easy.
Oh,
You don't need a barcode. It's
okay,
easy,
thank
but
you.
it's good to have it. You're welcome. So I stop my camera for a second and I will share my screen here. So give me a second. Do you see in my software here?
Not yet.
No, not yet.
Not yet, okay. So I allowed. Now it should be okay.
It's
I
uploading,
hope.
so yeah. There's white screen right now.
Uh-huh. So maybe we can wait a second for the internet will be strong.
Yeah, let's wait a little bit.
White?
Yes, it's white.
Oh, it's weird. It's really weird that why it's white. No problem. So give me a second. I will. Okay. Now
Yes,
I think
I can
it's
see it.
visible. Yeah, I see it
Yeah.
in my mobile phone that there is it finally. So when I switch on the software, when I switch on instrument, uh, so first page which you can see is this page. So in that moment you can start and you can take a rack with the samples and you can insert the whole rack with the samples and uh, the software will be activated and upload the samples. So I click here and turn scanner on to have the active scanner reading. Normally, when there is no time gap and you immediately start the software, the instrument automatically turn on the scanner and you don't have to click here. But we turn on the instrument, we are discussing here. So for the saving of the scanner, after approximately 5 minutes, when you don't insert any rack, it's stop. It's in the saving mode. So I click on scanner on and I stop sharing here and go back to the camera. And here you can see that the scanner is here and the position is shining, which is like preparing for the uploading of the rack. So in this position, you upload the rack. Actually, the instrument show you where you should upload the rack. So I take the rack. Maybe you heard the noise that the instrument like by beep uh, find the rec. So we have 5 samples with these patient IDs. If I want to add um other patient, and for example, I don't have a barcode identification and I want to add manually, I can click here and I can write some patient sample. Okay. And here I click and I select method which I want to run. So for example, I want to run MBA ANA anti-nuclear antibodies test plus positive control because if you mentioned, I already prepared the positive control in the control rec. So I click here, and this method I want to run in each test. And if I again, if I forgot, for example, some another sample, I can click and I can again add. If I have more methods, in case of MBA, it's quite easy because the procedure is same. So it's possible to combine more MBA tests. Again, I click here and I again selected another test and select also for which sample this test should be performed. So if I am ready and I am or I'm I already edit all samples which I want to run, I click OK. And here the most important button here on the panel is this work list actually. So I click on them, and here you can see the plate. So here positive control as the first place because this is programmed in the method. If you run uh, um, ANA method, anti-nuclear antibodies test with positive control, every time the positive control is aspirated in position A1, and after this positive control, the samples are following and fill the plate. So if I'm okay with this test, uh, all samples which I want to run are in the plate, I can click OK and I can continue. Here at plate at essay, it's not necessary to click on it because it's automatically like uploaded in the next step. So uh, if I don't add the rec as a first step, I can also manually do it. But I think the manual working may be for some scientific reason when you run some samples. Once for standard hospital usage of this instrument is to firstly add the rec with the patient samples. Click on the icon of new work list and I see this and I can click OK and continue. I don't have to fill here anything. So, okay, the next automatic pop-up window only describe me which region and which material I need for the analysis. So this is the method, substrate, conjugate, positive control, universal solution, wash, and deionized water. So here, if I want, I can edit the batch and write there the expiry date and something like that. Normally, I think nobody use it. It's not necessary to do it because normally when the lot is important, it's written, for example, in LIS, and it's not necessary to write here. It's only for informative reason. It absolutely doesn't influence the run. So here you can again click OK. You don't have to change here anything or add here something. So, okay. And here it means that not loaded, the status not loaded here means that I insert some plate in that time, and from now, if I start, the plate will finish in that in this time, and it's the essay MBA ANA Plus PC and samples 6. So my instrument is ready for run, and in that moment I have to add the reagent, the rec with the reagent and also the positive control. So I actually click here on the start. I close the cover because the instrument wants to flash and prepare the Gemini for run. So maybe you can hear some like click when the uh, the Gemini blocked the door, but now I can open the door again, and here is the panel where is displayed what I need for analysis. So when I click on this button, I see I need TL like test line MBA invoice and this amount. I also need distilled water, this amount for the run. Here you can see, if you remember, the positions where are bigger tips. The tips mean 1100 microliter tips, and I need 4 tips for this run. Here are the small tips. I need um, I need 13 tips for this run. Here you can see the green positions means please fill the deep wells, and you need 13 deep wells for the dilution of sorry, you need we have how many samples? 6 samples. So you need 1 strip of the deep wells, 6 position in the deep well for dilution of the samples. So instrument read here. If you fill the tips, or if you put there the new plate with the tips, you can click refill partial tip rex. You on click it and click refill, and that means that you have whole plate of tips. So instruments know that have the full plate with tips, but don't worry if you don't have the whole plate with the tips. The instrument, the pipette is going and checking each position with the tips in that moment, then finally find the tips. So you don't have to refill every time the tips. You can use it the amount of tips from the previous run. So for example, you can have here a half of the plate with the tips, and it's okay. So here you can see when I click, this is the patient number. So this patient samples was inserted as a first step. So it's here. Okay. Now I only add the rec for reagent and positive control, and we can continue. So my position in the instrument for positive control, the position is the LED light is shining and show me the position where I should insert the rec. And just now 5 minutes left, so I have to click on scanner focus, and I have the I have I want to insert my reg with control here. So if it's stop to shine and stop to show you where you should put the reg, you click on scanner focus, and the scanner is focused on the position. I take the reg, the bigger reg with the region, and again insert on the next position. That means third and fourth position from the right side. Insert it, and now you can see the second track. This track is for region, so I know that I have this conjugate. It's we automatically um, um, identify the conjugate as the yellow. So my conjugate is in the first position here, so I click like that. This universal solution, again, it's visible here what is what. So it's here are only like points, But if I want to look what is what, I see it, the name and also the amount which I use for this my run. So I know that it's here in the third position, and this, when I click on it, I see it's substrate. I need 2.8 milliliters of substrate, and I know that it's in the position. I also, in the same way, add the control, which is here in this position, and I can continue, click on start, and the instrument need also the plate. So I insert the plate and the instruments start the run. So you, in this way, you can add the region. If you have, for example, samples which are like increment, which are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or for example, uh, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 3, 1, 1, 4, something like that. You can also click auto arrange sample, and you can use this function when you don't add the samples here automatically, but when you want to add the samples manually, if you want to add the samples manually, you can click on the auto arrange samples, and the samples will automatically fill in the rack. But it's function which it's not used many times. It's when you don't um, when you run some samples, as I told you, with some increment, for example, some testing and something like that. So I can click on start. The instrument told me, please close the system cover. I close it, okay. And there is the checking of the um, plate where I insert the plate, MBA plate, and is checking if the way to the incubator is free, is there is no blockage and something like that. So there is some small movement, and I show you that now you can see in the instrument the metal frame for inserting of the plate. So for a second, I stop to sharing. And again, I show you here on my camera. Okay. So here you can see the metallic plate or frame actually, and I can take the plate. Give me a second. And I show you how to insert the plate to the instrument. So before you insert MBA plate to the frame, it's good to press the wells properly in the frame, the plastic frame, to be sure that the wells are in one line, or no wells is up, because when the wells is little bit up, or yeah, little bit upper, we can say, the problem is that the washer uh, um, coming across on the membrane which is inside, and there can be some needle print, and it influence the final reading in the MBA reader. So I push it, and in that um, uh, positions I insert the plate. Here you can also see there is written in this corner, you can see there is written A1. So here in the A1 I insert the plate. The plate must be inserted properly. It's easy, but for sure it's better to do like this, to press it in each corner must fit, because when it's somehow not properly inserted, you can have an accident that it's blocked here in the incubator, and it's not good. You have to open this cover and remove the plate. It's not big trouble, but it's good to properly insert. So when we insert the plate, I stop the video here, and I will share again the software. So I name my plate, for example, by today. So today 24th of October this year. For example, it's up to you. And I click OK. Instrument wants to close the cover. OK. And this is loading of the plate. And in this moment, it's enough. The instrument automatically upload the method and start the run. First step is the dilution of the samples, and after that is continuously working based on the protocol and adding universal solution for activation of membrane. After that, it's the washing, adding of samples. After that, adding of conjugate, washing, adding of substrate, incubation, and so on. Okay, so the instrument knows this plate ID, so I should write there some different. No problem. This was the last step, so maybe I only want to. Give me a second. I make a mistake because I insert the wells in opposite part, so that is my fault. So this is, I show you what is necessary to do. I will, for a second, I stop the sharing and switch on the camera. Okay. Yes. How is it? Yeah. So I added here on the last. It must be here on the first logically. Yeah. So here I have to check it and put it again. So if you make some mistake, the instrument told you that there is some error, and you can make a change and you can continue. For example, if you add the sample and there is no enough volume of sample, the instrument stop it and tell you, please add the samples manually to leave well. So you can stop and you can open the door of the instrument and you can add manually the small amount of sample and you can continue. Instrument doesn't interrupt the run and start to continuously working further. So I will again share the screen. Uh, so give me a second. And now the process is start. All problems were repaired, and uh, now you can it's yeah, it's a problem to make a video because the instrument must be closed. But I will a little bit describe what happened. Now is the flushing of the pipetter, because the pipetter take the tips and will fill the deep wells with the diluent and dilute the sample. You can see here loaded, like the plate one identified by this code was loaded, and uh, the run status is in process. The run is in process. When you click here, you can see the first identification, second identification. It's a second button. It's the workflow. So you can see in the time what is actually in the process. So this red part means pipetting. Green parts are ambient free. That means that the plate is under incubation in ambient temperature in incubator. There is like standard temperature from the lab, and any other coloring of the process. If you want, you can look also on the samples which you previously added to the plate. When you follow, you can see the reagent, in which position you have the reagent, required amount, what you need for the run, and this is the maximum volume which you can have in the bottle. Here is again the description, what is where, so you can see it here. I think it's good to mention that, for example, when the samples are already aspirated and diluted, you can remove from the instrument, and you can, for example, share with any other lab department or hospitality department. You don't have to leave it in the instrument. It's the same also with the positive control. After aspiration of positive control, you can remove the rack with the control and close it and put in the fridge. And you recognize that there is like the interrupting shining, like blinking of the LED diode, identifying that this rack can be removed. When we are here, you can see step by step describing in sentence what is the current process in the instrument. So now you can see starting to pipette diluent to deep wells, and also the whole process described. Here's the some information, which patient are there and which method is there. It's like job list. And here it's some notes if you want to write some any other identification of patient samples. So if I want for MBA, it's the process finished actually here, because when I remove the plate in the time around 12, uh, it's finished because the Gemini doesn't read or cannot read the MBA plate, because we have the reader, specific separate reader. So for MBA, the process finished here actually for you. Only after the required time you remove the plate. For ELISA, you can find at the end report when it's written the absorbance and the result. So if you want to abort the run, you can click on this button. It's stopped and it's automatically stopped. You can finish and remove the region, and that's it. So thank you. If you have any question, please ask, or you can write in chat if you will have any other questions after this session, or emails. You can write me email if you will have any other question. So do you have any question to this system? Yes, please.
Okay. You say that the instrument will check the reagent, right? The volume of reagent.
Yes.
Is the instrument do that when you start the task, or we can do the calibration before we put the plate inside the instrument?
Um, it's maybe I explain a little bit more because the instrument doesn't the instrument cannot catch or cannot recognize the liquid level, and it's based on the conductive tips. We have conductive tips, and it's possible to recognize the level. But the instrument doesn't know the amount which is in the bottle. The instrument only tell you, please, I need this amount of reagent, and you have to somehow, uh, estimate that you have this amount.
Okay. So the instrument cannot read the exact volume in the region, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You are welcome.
Marta, there is a question from Sofian in the chat.
Okay. So I go back and I stop the sharing because there is no activation, no activity, and I look in the chat. Okay. How many milliliter samples that need to add into the sample tube? In the sample tube, it depends on the shape of the tube, but we know that you need approximately 200 milliliters. It depends how you calibrate, how properly you calibrate the pipette. Because if you really properly calibrate the pipette, you can go really, really deeply, and you can actually aspirate the sample from almost each drop. Okay, I don't have enough sample here, no problem. Maybe I can for a second share you the screen only to show you one thing. This also good feature for this instrument. If you don't have enough sample, for example, here I add the sample here, but there is nothing. It's empty tube only. So the instrument tell you the in this sample not pipette in dilution plate F1, and you should aspirate sample, dispense, mix, and that's it, and click, and the instrument will continue. So you open the instrument, add the sample manually, and you can continue. It's a very good function which I really like to show you. And that's it. Yeah, so yeah, to your question, Sofian, when you really properly calibrate the pipette, you can use really small amount, around in 100 microliters. And in case of Eppendorf, actually also 100 microliters, 200 microliters, something like that. It's possible to aspirate.
But what would you recommend the volume of the sample should be placed in the
Oh,
tube?
standardly, the amount of sample is around 2-3 miles. It's like normal amount. So
Okay.
I think what we know from our experience from the hospitals in Czech Republic, Europe, and Middle East, or what I recognize normally they have 1-2 milliliters. But you can go down with the milliliters. You can have something around 300, 400, 500 microliters of sample.
Okay, it
I
depends
think
on the calibration, right?
yes, it depends also on the calibration of the pipetter and the tubes. If you will have the technical training on service training, our service engineers show you how to properly calibrate the pipetter to be possible to really take a really small amount of the sample.
Okay. Oh, once more. Sometimes the ELISA needs dilution. We can dilute the samples manually before put the samples inside the instrument, right?
uh, a dilution is possible to do it automatically. If you prepare or if you need a protocol, we can prepare for you. And when there is the dilution of sample in the protocol, the instrument, the Gemini, runs based on the protocol. So the samples can be diluted automatically by the system.
Oh, that's good. Okay, thank you for the
Yeah.
information. How about the consumables?
Halo, Marta.
Can we use?
Yeah, please.
Hello.
Mr. Continue, please, and we
Yeah,
will.
Okay, aku dulu ya, Mas.
please continue.
Okay. About the consumables, can we use any brand of tube and or ELISA, something like that?
Yeah,
Or
it's possible.
there is
Yeah, yeah, tubes you can use like many different, but I think actually they're based on the dimension. But if you look in the rack, you can see there is like metallic holders, or how to say. So you can use many different tubes. So it's okay if you calibrate to Gemini, for example, 3, 5 tubes, it's possible to use it. The instrument must know it, but service engineers, where they are trained, they know how to calibrate the specific tubes which are used, and it's okay. You can use it.
okay. Okay. Thank you.
Halo, Marta.
Yes, hello.
The maximum plate is how many plates per
Maximum plate
run?
which you can run together in one run. For MBA, it's two. And for ELISA,
Mm-hmm.
it's standardly also two, but if you buy the third frame, it's possible to
Mm-hmm.
run also free. But normally,
Three
when you have many
maximum.
samples, when you have many samples,
Mm-hmm.
the instrument program it like first two together and the third as
Mm-hmm.
second run. But it depends on the sample. Yeah, it's there is some, on how the instrument is programmed, but maximum what you can run is free for ELISA and two for MBA.
Okay.
Okay, so if you don't have any other questions, we can finish the training. We almost uh, fulfill the time limit.
Yeah.
So thank you
Uh,
very much for your attention. I hope that the training a little bit help you to imagine how the machine is looking and how it's working.
So thank you very much for your time, for your attention, and Marta, thank you very much for such a detailed presentation and explanation. Are there any more questions, Sofian or anyone else?
teman-teman yang lain ada Ada pertanyaan lagi nggak?
I'm sorry, I'm not sure if I understood you well.
Yes. There's a new question from another. Okay, I think there's no other question.
No other question. Okay. In case
Yeah, I think
anything appears
yeah.
to your mind later on, please feel free to contact us by email or by Teams or on WhatsApp anyway, or we can discuss during our regular call, for example. Okay, so thank you very
Okay.
much, everyone, and I wish you a beautiful afternoon.
Yes, thank you very much, and also have a nice afternoon. Bye bye.
Okay, thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Thank you,
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you. Bye bye.